Hey you guys, so we are going to make something special. Alright, so the other day I made a pot roast. I did a video on it. I haven't put it up yet, but it was to show you what you could do with pot roast, okay? So this is what's left, and this is quite a bit. There's probably about 4-5 cups left of the meat and the sauce, and believe me, we've had 2 meals using the meat. The first meal was obviously pot roast, then pot roast stew, and now we have all this meat with all the juice. When you let it sit in the refrigerator for a day, you're gonna have all this juice that I cooked it with, because I cooked it with a lot of juice. You're gonna get all that juice. Let me get that potato. And that juice is going to turn into a thick gravy. And what do you do with that? Well, first of all, it's going to stay in here with the meat. But I did separate it. I took out the leftover potatoes and the carrots. Well, what are you going to do with the leftover potatoes and the carrots, Lena? Well, let me show you. Alright, that's after I grinded it up. Look familiar? A little bit white from the potatoes, but when you mix that in with that, how much meat do you now have? Let me show you. That is about, I would say, 8 cans of the roast beef that you buy in the can. You could probably fill up about 8 cans. How much are those? $4 or $5? $5? $4? What's 4 times 8? 32. This is about $40 meal. This is like, you know how many meals you can make with this? You can make taquitos. You can make sandwiches. You can heat this up and pour it over biscuits or just bread. There's so many things you can do with this meat. Tonight we are having taquitos and french fries. That's what the boys want. So what I did was, well, remember the soup bones? they're right here. I'm going to give them to the dogs. I just fished them out. I mixed up, there's the potato. See the potato? And I put some of the meat in here, and I want to mix it up. They're never going to know. They're never going to taste the potato. The meat and the gravy overwhelms the carrots, so I'm going to taste that. They're going to have them some beef taquitos, and they're going to love it. It's the same meat. It's roast beef. They roast it, and they can it. So I will put a little bit of cheese in each one as I roll them up, and they'll have roast beef taquitos. And the same thing with chicken, too. But don't throw away your roast. Start getting your potatoes and the carrots and grind them up in the food grinder or whatever, mix them in with the meat. They'll never know. When they eat that taquito, they ain't gonna know. After they eat and they say, man, Mom, that was great, then tell them what you did. Because next time, if they see you doing it, they won't be like, ew, or they'll be like, oh yeah, I like that. And they'll know what to do if they have that meal and they're like, what am I gonna do with the rest of this? My family doesn't want leftovers again. What can I do with it? That's what you do with it. One thing anyway. We are having onion rings as well, and I will tell you how we make them. Okay, the batter for the onion rings, all I did was equal parts flour and cornstarch. So a cup of flour, cup of cornstarch, 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. You can leave it at that. I added a little bit of smoked paprika. That's it. You don't even need that. And I added that because that's what we put in fried chicken and stuff like that. Now you can go all crazy with this or not. I made mine simple. I dip them in here and I fry them. Yellow onions are not spicy. When you cook them, if you eat them raw, yeah. But if you cook them, your kids, get them used to them now that they're young. They will love them cooked because they taste sweet when they're cooked. Not like candy, but they'll love them cooked. Okay, so out of roast beef leftovers, I made a whole ton of taquitos. I made french fries and onion rings. You tell me that's not going to be a good meal. Well, that's made with a lot of oil. That's a lot of fried food. Is that healthy for you? For those of you that know what time we're in, these are ways of making do. So for those of you that are still indoctrinated, I will have you know that your brain has fat around it, saturated fat. You need saturated food in your diet. They have trained you that white meat, chicken breast, and all that nasty stuff that don't have no flavor is what your body needs. And that's what's going to keep your body running. So all them people eating all them saturated fats are going to die. My sister had a very dear friend at the age of 37 drop dead on a soccer field. In shape, very fit, muscles and everything. You hear this all the time. Fat people, skinny people, it makes no difference, okay? When it's your time, it's your time. But your brain needs saturated fat, so eat. Also, I did not think I needed to do a taste test because I already know what everything tastes like. However, I tasted one of them taquitos, y'all. Oh my goodness. That roast beef is so good. I didn't have to add salt, I added nothing. All I did was grinded up the veggies, mixed them in there so it partook with the meat and all the thick gravy it made. All on its own. I added nothing. I made no gravy for it or anything. It just sat in the fridge, and when I pulled it out, it was all a thick, heavy gravy. And I made them taquitos with a little bit of cheese. And look at that. You guys, make taquitos out of your roast. It is so divine, so amazingly good. Your children will love it. All right, try it. Enjoy. Bye, guys.